in New York, and we figured what better way to spend our time here than to go back to the iconic places where the most iconic of romantic comedies, arguably, but I'm going to go with most iconic of romantic comedies, When Harry Met Sally was shot. And here, as far as New York places go, is where it all begins. They have driven through Chicago, from Chicago for like who knows how long. They fought, they've ordered things, they've decided that men and women can't be friends, and now they've landed to Washington Square, NYU, and they split, theoretically, never to meet again. And why Washington Square? Because what cooler place is there to split up a couple that may or may not end up together?
I have a lot of mixed feelings about this place. I spent 2 years studying here. Not my favorite place in New York, but I don't have a lot of mixed feelings about the movie. I think it's just really good. They should have picked a better square.
You wanted, what square would you have liked?
Union Square, Tompkins
Park.
Square, any square, really. Besides this one. No, it's fine. This is a good square too. It's just, for me, it's personally fraught. But the movie's great. But that may have been the one thing they got wrong.
Another pivotal scene in When Harry Met Sally happens at Shakespeare Co. However, they closed, which, you know, When Harry Met Sally came out in 1989. So we're at the Strand, which is one of the classic, most incredible New York bookstores, and it's gonna have to be a stand-in for Shakespeare Co. But one of the things that happens in that scene is that it's 10 years later, and the first time that they ran into each other 5 years later, he didn't recognize her. Like, it took him a while, like, he just, and she's with Carrie Fisher, aka Princess Leia, and he's at the self-help section because he has just gotten a divorce and he's so sad. And Carrie Fisher's like, hey, he's looking at you. And she's like, what? And then she's like, look, he's never gonna remember me because he never does. And yet, he comes to her and he says, hey, Sally, all right? And it's a big turning point in their relationship. It's the beginning, right, on this place, which is not really this place, but in the other version of this place, which is Shakespeare Co. that this is standing for, is where the real story begins, right? Like, now we're getting to the moment where Harry and Sally are indeed going to fall in love, and it has to happen with him for once, knowing who she is from the start and just being interested in her from the very beginning, unlike the past. So it's a moment of growth for him. He's grown, he's changed, and it's a moment where she's like, oh, I guess he has grown and changed.
I don't think I've ever been into Shakespeare Company, but I have been to the Strand. But in my mind, in that movie, even though we just watched it, that's the scene where not only does Carrie Fisher make sure that they have a rendezvous, but they also get on that karaoke machine, because every Shakespeare Company famously had a karaoke machine. And that's where they started singing Surrey with the Fringe on Top.
That is totally incorrect. That happens way later, but sure.
It definitely happens that way. Which is what you do in a bookstore. You start singing karaoke. But no, it's a good scene. And I love Carrie Fisher's little disappearing act. Very clever. And I'm sorry for Shakespeare Company. Rough out there for a bookstore. So good on this man for keeping on.
And for lovers everywhere.
Yep, keep on keeping on, lovers everywhere.
There.
Keep reading. And keep singing karaoke, I guess. But not at the same time. Hey, thank
I can't.
Paper.
I'm a horrible mimic, so there's no way in hell that I'm going to do pepper. But we're at the Met. We're in front of the amazing temple, and we're at the site of one of the great scenes. And it's a pivotal scene for the movie because in this moment, he basically says, hey, you want to go out tonight? And she's like, I'm actually going out with someone else. And it's time for us to get back in the game. Yes, exactly. This is when he realizes that he kind of likes her. He's a little jealous. And then they do both end up going out, and it sets them on their path towards finding each other. But it's a great thing because it starts very humorous, and she unlike me, she actually plays along, so you're like, oh my god, these two are perfect for each other.
She's a bad mimic.
She's a bad mimic? No, she's really good at it. I'm the one that's terrible and I won't even do it. But, you get this clear realization that these two people are meant to be together, and just as that's happening, she's like, oh, I'm totally gonna go out with someone else, and he's like, well, I guess I better too. So it's a big turning point for the film. When Harry Met Sally is interwoven with the history of New York, they picked some of the best, most classic locations, and now a lot of people that come to New York want to relive those places. So they were classic to begin with, and now they're even more classic because this film has made them so. And one of those places is Katz's Deli, which was founded in 1888, so it's historical and incredible. And if you look behind me, somebody else is filming it. I don't know why, but there you have them. There's a crowd, there's all of these things, because it's such an emblematic part of the city. And of course, Harry and Sally, who are not New Yorkers, but really embody the history of the city, they have to eat there and have one of the most classic scenes, if not the most classic scene of female pleasure faked in history.
Actually, in New York's Jewish deli.
You can't have a roll full of Katz's photos without If you look at that Katz's photo, you're going to see behind them, and you'll see the woman who says, I'll have what she's having, and guess what? It's Rob Reiner's mom. He cast her to say exactly that.
They say it's a tourist trap. I don't care. Been here 15 times. It's always delicious. And it's going to be again.
Alright. You're eating exactly like Harry.
Amazing. It's like butter. I could tell she was faking.
You could tell she was baking it? Tell us why.
We know. We men know.
Oh, yeah.
Can't fool us. It's an amazing scene, an amazing comedy.
Brownstones are one of the great New York staples, and of course they feature in When Harry Met Sally. In one of the best scenes in the film, Harry and Sally have been singing karaoke, Surrey with the Fringe on Top from Oklahoma, and they run into Helen, who is Harry's ex-wife, and Ezra, who is the new guy, the guy that she left him for. And it's deeply embarrassing and unsettling to him, right? Until now, he's loved Sally and being with her so much. They can just be goofy and ridiculous, but somehow this moment is really embarrassing. And then they come to Carrie Fisher and Bruno Kirby, whom they've set up. They put them together, but they didn't. They were trying to set them up with each other. But anyway, they ended up together because of them. And they're moving in together because they're in love, and they're trying to figure out how to set up this beautiful brownstone where they're living to unite their possessions. And Harry, who is feeling very annoyed by life and very devastated, he just has a fit. He's like, please make sure you put your names on your books because you have no idea how expensive this is. And it's a moment where we can tell that he's still very wounded by Helen, so it sets up this break in the relationship between him and Sally, which of course you need in a love story. They can't just fall for each other right away. It gives them like a very organic and funny, because of course it's funny, but also poignant moment of division where she just can't be the person that his ex-wife was. And then of course we later realize nor should she be, because at the end of the day he wasn't even happy with his ex-wife and their marriage didn't work out. But it all happens in a brownstone like this one.
I didn't think the table was that bad, really.
It's terrible.
I've seen worse. I mean, it's not great. It's a wagon wheel, the glass top. I think they should keep the wagon wheel top. That's my biggest takeaway from that scene. There's some emotional stuff going on, and like some larger point being made, but for me the most important thing is I don't think that table is so bad. Would I have it? Nah. But I wouldn't blame anyone else who did. It's a coffee table. It's a wagon wheel. It's rustic. It's glass, modern, rustic, modern. It's a coffee table.
Quests start in one place and they tend to end in the same place. And no, they're not going to drive all the way back to the University of Chicago, because who would do that? The New York part of this movie, and this is a quintessential New York movie, opens here when they drive in and they separate. And this is the moment when Harry is trying to get to Sally for the big, fabulous love declaration of all time, right before the clock strikes 12 at midnight. He's running and he's running, and he gets back through this arch, and we see this beautiful montage of their relationship as he's trying to figure out why this is the person that he wants to spend the rest of his life with, and he wants that time to start right now. But in order for him to give that speech, he has to come through this arch and get to her before the clock strikes 12, and then they can kiss after she says she hates him, but she loves him. And oh my God, it's impossible to hate him, it's impossible not to love him, it's impossible to love him, it's all the things. It starts here, it ends here. We hope you've enjoyed our video about the wonders of New York and When Harry Met Sally. Please let us know. What are your thoughts on the movie? What are your thoughts on the city? Do you agree with us? Do you not? And please subscribe and share with us what you think.